Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse. I had an amazing meditation today, and I took a nice, luxurious bath. Scorpio is a water sign, and I admit that I'm going to be very myopic tonight about it because it is my zodiac sign. Proud to be an October Scorpio. I think the people that get the bad reputation are the November Scorpios because by the time it gets to November, the energy is really intense. So I wanted to jump in today. Today is 5/1, another special night, because it's about the energy of the goddess Beltane as well. Mark your calendars. Do not miss out on this Friday, 5/5, this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Normally I say do a ritual, make plans to do some things, but this time I'm asking you to kind of just, instead of doing, tap more into just being. Tap more into just being. This is my water bowl. Blue. Blue is the operative color because we're going to talk about a lot about the number 5. 5 energy is interesting because it's about your voice. Hey, Flory. Oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome. Hey, my dear. All the way from Switzerland. She always sends love from Switzerland. One day soon I will make it there. So we're talking about the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse coming in this Friday, 5/5/2023. This is such powerful energy for the entire month. Oh my goodness, Dell, enjoy cooking. Welcome. It's been so long since I have seen you. Welcome, my dear. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. It's odd to come here on a Monday night. I rarely do it, but it just felt right because of all of the energy that's even coming in tonight and then on Friday. So I didn't want you to miss it. I wanted you to have time to prepare. One of the things that comes to mind right now is clean your house. Seriously. One of the things I learned, one of the core principles of bringing things in, especially during a time of Scorpio energy and this full moon of transformation, it's literally about clearing the deck. The idea is the universe doesn't like dust and clutter. So at least clear out your ritual space. Every now and then we have to lift things up, shake things out, change the candle, clean up the sage particles. So clean yourself. It's a great time to luxuriate in a bath. Scrub your skin. Dry brush before you get into the tub. Literally see yourself removing an unnecessary layer of energy. Remember, the skin is the largest organ in the body, and we carry a lot of congestion when we don't cleanse and purify our physical plane. So on Friday, 5/5 at 10:34 a.m. Pacific time, 1:34 Eastern time. Flora, you have to add 8 or 9 hours to that, but you'll figure it out. What's great is that this Scorpio full moon is coming in at 14 degrees, which is another number 5. So I'm just going to jump into numerology to kick this off. May is the 5th month. And so this full moon is also happening on the 5th day. 5 plus 5 is 10, which equals a 1. The day 5/5/2023 reduces to a 17, which reduces to an 8. So this is about a time of leaving a legacy. Whatever you do right now during this time will have long-term impact. So again, this is an important time. 8 is the number of having systems in place, because in essence, 8 is a double 4. And 4 carries the energy of must have a system in place. 4 is very planning energy. It's very grounded energy. But during this month of May, the energy of 5 will be hard to ignore, and it will overshadow that 4 energy. And a numerologist and astrologer that I listen to, Kathy Ladonna, says that systems without change create a circle, and systems where there is change is a spiral. So you've heard of the term circling the wagons, where people just keep going in a circle. They keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. Where a spiral causes ascension. It spirals you up. So Pluto governs Scorpio. So it's going to be about transformative energy. Scorpio is the sign of cycle of birth and death. And the idea is we must continue to die each day and lose parts of ourselves in order for new things to grow. We have to make literal, emotional, mental, and physical deaths in order to have rebirth. So we're still in a Mercury retrograde. And I don't know about you guys, the first few days of the retrograde actually was a little intense, but it's, I believe because it's a mindset shift. Once I accepted that retrogrades have a place, just like everything else in life, they started to lessen their effect on me. But what's cool about this is during this Scorpio energy, during this Taurian time, we're in Taurus season, it will give you powers of concentration. So after the 14th and 15th of May, so Mercury retrograde will start to exit on the 14th. We'll still have some post shadow of it, but after it exits, we can start to consummate things. Prepare for exciting and sudden changes with this 5 month. Take action about your spiritual nourishment. I get excited about May every month because May Day, and May is the month of Taurian energy. But it's the month where we celebrate mothers. And I always think of Mother Earth. So Mother's Day is happening during this month. So the first 5 is today. Beltane. Beltane's a goddess, and we're going to talk about her. We have 3 other 5s. We have 2 other double 5s this month. So 514 is a 5-5. 1 + 4 = 5. 523 is a double 5. And then on 527, it's another singular 5. Like I said, the moon is sitting at 14 degrees of Scorpio on this 5-5. So it's literally like a quadruple 5 code. And what's interesting is I received some news in the mail today that was significant. And the transaction number that was contained in this letter was 221. Which equals a 5. And even me, that I believe in all of this stuff, and I'm a 5 life path number. If you don't know what that means, I'll be talking about that upcoming, not in this video, but down the road. So 5 accelerates freedom and flexibility. 5 energy welcomes the unexpected. So the sun is conjunct Uranus right now. So Uranus is about what's hidden and things that are inside of our emotions. So expect breakthroughs, freedom, and releasing old patterns so you can start fresh. Jupiter sextiles Venus, and both are sitting at 27 degrees. Venus is the planet that governs Taurus, love. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So think about expanding all the things, people, places that you love. 27 equals a 9. 9 is about endings. So it's a beautiful time for this 9 energy as we go through transformation and this Scorpio energy. While some astrological happenings like the full moon are always considered perfect times for rituals and setting intentions and writing down your goals and blah, 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 it is said that during an eclipse, it's about being ready for change and being agile and ready to adjust, because eclipses set off a huge amount of energy. So we have to stay agile. This is a time of not overscheduling your weekend. So on this weekend, the weekend starts on the 5th. Have a calmer, quieter weekend if you can, because eclipses sometimes hit later. This eclipse will actually last for 4 hours. Eclipses can bring permanent changes into your life. And lunar eclipses are basically just big full moons with 3 times more energetic intensity. This full moon represents a completion, a closure, and coming on Scorpio energy, eclipses are always about these things, but because it's in the proximity of our south node, the south node is about the past. It's about ending and clearing old cycles. So think of what you are moving away from. And this eclipse cycle lasts for about 6 months. So make sure to check back in on November in 2023, because again, when we will have the new moon in Scorpio sitting adjacent to Taurus. So think about November of 2022. Last year, a growth period started that led up to today. I know I can mark my growth period and where it has landed me today. And it's fascinating that it was 6 months ago and here I sit today in this time, space, reality and everything that I've been through. The moon is already ruled by water, and having the sign of Scorpio, a water sign, doubly intensifies its energy and our intuition. It is a great time of healing. The April eclipse that took place in the North Node, that was more refreshing because it's more about our destiny. The North Node is about our destiny, our future, and our life purpose. But this lunar eclipse taking place in the South Node will activate the energy of releasing and letting go. Eclipses are the pivotal catalyst of the year. So if you don't pay attention to any other lunations during the year, pay more attention to the lunar and the solar eclipses. The lunar eclipses are always during the full moon time. It is more than just a full moon in Scorpio. It's way more powerful because it's a prenuptial eclipse, meaning it will last a long time. So this eclipse will last about 4 hours. Scorpio energy can be quite intense, but thank goodness that the Taurus energy is here to help ground us to a degree. We can be thankful to Scorpio energy because it brings about our biggest level of transformation. Scorpio is considered to be the sign of secrecy, but it loves to have the truth illuminated so it can once and for all be purged. So it can be purged, burned, or transformed. Clarity and light comes in. As the saying goes, the truth will set you free. Thinking about the sign of Scorpio and just water signs in general, it occurred to me that water signs are the life givers. They're the birth givers of the zodiac. Water is associated with the sex organs where we give birth. After air, water is the most important element for our survival. You know, we can't survive without air. And then water is about being in flow or going with the flow. Thank you, Intuitive Crystal, for joining. Welcome. So water signs will give us the ability. It's about, as Abraham Hicks says, flow down the river of life without resistance. So Scorpio, the mantra is, I desire. Scorpio is considered a passionate sign. The power word for Scorpio is intensity. They say you can tell a Scorpio by their eyes. and their poker face, or lack of poker face. It could also be. The key word though is magnetic. Scorpio energy usually draws people in. People are usually interested in what Scorpios are doing and what they have to say. Scorpio deals with our psychology and our need to be in control. Our sexuality, passive income, multiple streams of income, contracts, the banking system, legalities. So it is said that Scorpio governs things that control this world on a less visible level. This is where divination comes in. Most Scorpios are interested in something greater than themselves and maybe have a faith in God, spirit, God, goddess, the animal planet, etc. Now with Taurus energy being in the sun and Mercury retrograde here, with Uranus, this creates a battle between the seen, the unseen, the known, and the unknown. Whenever I say my prayers, I say thank you for the known, unknown, the seen, unseen, to come, to be, and what has passed. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is sensuality, beauty, food, comforts. Taurus likes beautiful things and luxurious things in life. They've got good taste and they like good things. They would rather wait and buy high quality things than accumulate a bunch of mixed things. Hey, Graciela, Grace, good to see you. Thanks for joining. We're talking about this full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse coming in on 5/5. So Taurus loves high quality things. Taurus's strength is being able to separate their emotions, but after they see red. After they see red. You know, they say the bull sees red. And then they find a solution beyond the fog of their emotions. So this is a strength of Taurus. Taurus is very bullheaded, very grounded, but always their gift is being able to get beyond their emotions and find a solution. This is two fixed signs energy. So the sun in Taurus, the moon in Scorpio is creating a fixed sign eclipse. So this could be more disruptive energy and more groundbreaking energy. You might just have a revelation. I love revelations. Another word for revelation is an aha moment. This water energy is supported by Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, which earth signs are always the perfect companion for water. So Taurus energy represents prosperity. This is why I always love the month of March. It's surrounded by abundance. The reason Taurus is surrounded by abundance is because the luxuriation that the sign carries. But there's a lot of patience in taking things at a slower pace. So if you're trying to manifest and bring in abundance, you have to have patience and you have to slow down to allow the process to unfold. This is also a very psychic moon with the laser-like ability to hone in on the truth. The idea is you just know things that you feel like you should know. This is also tied to ancestral energy, our ancient traumas that we inherited and we brought here. Gosh, Scorpio governs the unconscious, and the key is understanding that you don't have to know because your unconscious knows. You just trust by following anything that emerges from your soul so that you can process it with unshakable faith. See, again, Scorpio is comfortable with the unknown, the ethereal, the mystery. That's another word. So the idea is to trust in the ultimate oracle. The ultimate oracle is the Trinity, your body, your mind, and your spirit, and trusting that the internal wisdom of this trifecta knows that the alchemy of healing, better than you, better than your ego, your mental mind, and even your willpower. The biggest energetic news that is happening right now, Beltane tonight on 5/1 is one of the biggest portals of the year. A lot of people celebrate the goddess Beltane, but a portal is a veil of the world between the world of the living and of the dead. In the northern hemisphere, right now today, we celebrate Beltane, which is life-giving, but our global friends in the southern hemisphere are celebrating Samhain. So we celebrate Samhain in the fall. Some people call it Samhain. It's actually pronounced Samhain. So we reverse it. So in the fall, they'll be celebrating Beltane and we'll be celebrating Samhain. But this is a portal that opens up. This is the halfway point between spring and summer. And it's a Gaelic term. Beltane means bright fire of love, joy, fertility, blazing through and purifying. The Beltane festival is a time to celebrate fertility, the promise of new life, and the prospect of warmth and light of the summer season, as well as the balance of the divine feminine and masculine energy. Beltane celebrations are customarily marked with bonfires as a symbol of protection and performed to protect the cattle, the crops, the people, and also to encourage growth. You know, there are natural fires that happen in nature naturally. So sometimes wildfires are created by nature in order to produce new growth. This night on Beltane honors abundance, divine masculine and feminine energy, and creation. It's connected to our sacral chakra, the second chakra, which is about joy, pleasure, and feeling good in your own skin with or without a partner. It's considered one of the sexiest nights of the year. So think about it. Mars is still out of bounds beyond the normal 23 degrees. Again, Mars sitting at 23 degrees out of bounds is still a 5. It'll come back on the 5th though. Mars will come back into play on the 5th from its 23 degrees during the lunar eclipse. So this is a time to really pause. On Friday, really pause. Do the Italian, the teeth biting the knuckle, like hold your tongue and think about it before you speak. Mercury is still in retrograde, like I said, until 5/14. We have 13 days left to get through the retrograde. But again, retrograde energy asks you to take a cosmic step back to make sure that you are moving in the direction that you truly and authentically want to move towards. This will move into a Capricorn on June 11th and it will stay until October 10th. The most charged time of this Pluto retrograde are the station days. So Pluto goes retrograde starting tonight in Aquarius. So Aquarius is the freedom-loving, truth-giving, change maker, equity sign in astrology. So it will move into Aquarius tonight, move into Capricorn June 11th, and will be in Pluto, but a Pluto retrograde. So again, everyone focuses only on Mercury, but Pluto is a pretty intense retrograde, especially it's more charged the day that it's stationed. So station is the day it comes in and the day that it leaves. But because it's an Aquarius, it'll bring innovation. It'll give you fresh perspectives. It will help you move forward and fearlessly take on all the changes that are in front of you. The interesting thing about the Pluto retrograde is that the energy is not reversed like the other planets' retrogrades because it's transformational energy. So during this time, you can expect unexpected blessings in something ending that you maybe didn't have the strength to do. Once you do it, you may realize it's the best thing that you could have happened for you. This is a time to release and surrender control. Big emotional releases and cutting ties to things that are deeply personal to you. This energy may make you get to the breaking point and a place you didn't really want to go. But once Scorpio cuts something out, they rarely look back. But if they do, it's more from a place to validate that their intuition was spot on. And also, Scorpios can be petty and look back and say, to realize like, because Scorpios are fiercely loyal, and then they expect a lot from people in their lives, but they'll look back and say, see what you lost out on? Think back to November 2022, because think back to any chaos or any kind of craziness that was happening. Remember, this is a 6-month cycle for this eclipse. This is the beginning of the end of that 6-month cycle. Taurus governs money, currency, banking, wealth. Like I said, Scorpio is a big money sign, big investments, loans, mortgages, debts, defaults, and taxes. So this is the yin and the yang side of this Scorpio energy. So many messages about releasing and new beginnings. This is the second eclipse that was in Aries, ruled by Mars. Mars is the co-ruler of Scorpio. So the eclipse in April was Aries, ruled by Mars, the co-ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, and Mars. So we still have a lot of Martian energy. Mercury stations retrograde in Taurus, which again makes this a more grounded retrograde. Both Scorpio and Taurus are on the financial axis flow for money. It's about your approach and how you deal with abundance, because money is purely the energy that you put in. Our instincts are being called into action. It's a time for you to sense what's appropriate, because water signs help you to purge and eliminate, and it wants to bring things to light. Pluto is the modern ruler to help us transform and uncover these truths, bringing change and restoration. Pluto is also associated with power. The question is someone lording power over you? Are you giving your power away? The Scorpio full moon asks us to feel and to go deeper beyond the surface. It's about reconnecting to our sacred selves and letting go of being numb, uninvolved, and disconnected from our spiritual life. So what to do during this full moon lunar eclipse on Friday 5/5? Like number one, I said, clean your home, clean your space, clean yourself, scrub your skin, bathe, take an extra long shower, scrub your scalp, get clean on a physical level. What can you shed from the old? So scroll back to 2020. That was 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago now. Scroll back to where you were and what you want to shed from that very fear-based time, because that energy is still living with us, can be still living with us in our energy field. Ask yourself, what in my life needs to come to an end? What contracts need to be renegotiated, revised? Is there a legal agreement coming to the end that you're grateful for? Gather. It's a great time to gather with like-minded people, because it is also Cinco de Mayo on 5/5, which is a celebratory day. So gather with friends, with like-minded people. Purge things, purge people, places, mindsets, habits. Also rest and sleep, and learn the difference between the two. We need sleep for sure, but we also need rest. Sift through your old diaries, your journals, your planners, and check in to where your mindset was. Get into the water. Take a jacuzzi, take a bath, go to the ocean, a lake. Get into water. So let's look at this energy that we're here this month, this energy update. 4/20, Taurus season began. We're still in Taurus season. 5/1, today, Pluto stations retrograde. So now we've got Mercury retrograde, and we got Pluto retrograde happening. 5-5 is Cinco de Mayo. 5-5 is also the full lunar eclipse in Scorpio. 5-10 is Mexican Mother's Day. Mexican Mother's Day happens on the 10th every year, May 10th, Mexican Mother's Day. 5-14 is traditional Mother's Day in the Western world. 5-14, Mercury retrograde starts its end. Again, 5-14 is a 5. On 5-17, Jupiter squares Pluto. Jupiter is sitting at 0 degrees, Taurus at 18 degrees, Pluto at 0 degrees, and Aquarius at 18 degrees. So we've got 0s and 9 on 5-17. Mark that date down. 9 is endings. 0 is a beginning. So that's going to be a very powerful day. And 5-21, we welcome in the Gemini season. Full moons are times of eruption, culmination, when Luna's pregnant glow is primed to burst, says Chani Nichols. The werewolves come out and all that's been gestating over the past month explode into being. On an eclipse, these peaks become historic climaxes. They represent definitive crossroads from which there can be no going back. Any village cursed by the werewolf knows what to do on the night of the full moon. Lock the doors and hide your livestock. Don't put yourself in the way of lunacy. Similarly, eclipses aren't the time for action, intervention, or manifestation. Our calling is to step back and to witness what has gone, what is being born, and what has transformed irrevocably. She also says that this month's flower moon is named for the rebirth of spring. Though the occasion is Taurus season, the time of rapturous fertility, this eclipse goes down in Taurus's polar opposite sign, Scorpio, the Lord of the underworld. And so we arrive at a perfect archetypical crossroads, a paradoxical nexus, celebrating a full birthing flower moon in the sign of transformation. This is also the final Scorpio eclipse in the current Taurus-Scorpio saga, which has raged since 2021 and ends climactically with the Taurus eclipse on October 28th. Thank you, Chani Nichols. And I close with this. Think of this eclipse time, because it'll last for the month and it'll float through the 6 months of this eclipse season. Think of this as a time, as a cleanse for your whole mind, body, spirit. Whatever expectations or burdens you've been carrying that feel too heavy to continue bearing on your soul, this is your cosmic permission to let them go, to set them down. As our snake friends will attest, you can't grow without shedding the old skin. And as we know, Scorpio is a sign of transformation, rebirth. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget 5-5. It's a wonderful, powerful day. We have 3 days when the new moon comes in to capitalize on its peak energy. Enjoy, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.